Hello everyone, welcome to the second Code Hub tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be talking about MVC, Model View Controller, and what does that mean and how it works in Laravel. As you see here, I have the Laravel, I have the XAMPP running, and I'm in the Code Hub public in the local host, and as you can see here I have Laravel or the project up and running. If you don't have this, please go ahead and refer to tutorial 1. Right, so next is you will need a text editor. I'm using Sublime Text. You could use any text editor of your choice. So I have that, and I have the Code Hub project open here. But what you can do is, like, if you're using Sublime, go ahead and click on Open Folder and then navigate to the folder where within the htdocs folder. I called mine Code Hub. Okay, so here you see the Laravel folder structure. Within Code Hub we have an app folder, and here's where we put all the logic and things that are relevant to the website itself. In here you will notice a folder called HTTP. Within here there's controllers, which is the C in MVC, and within here we also have a routes file. So let's talk about how this works. Here we have a routes file. The routes file is responsible for mapping, basically telling which controller and which function within that controller is responsible for handling the request that is coming in. In this case, this slash here means the home page. So let's say somebody goes to codehub.com, or in our case, localhost codehub/public. What should I do? So in this case, they're just returning a view, which is the V in MVC, which is not the best way to do it. What we will have, and you're going to see the code in the upcoming tutorials, is within here we're going to tell it which controller is responsible. So what we would tell it is, like, somebody hits codehub.com, we will tell it go to, let's say in our case here we have controller.php, but we're not going to be using this. But let's say request comes, a get request to the home page, we tell it, okay, who's responsible for that? We're going to tell it the controller.php file is responsible for that. And let's say within here we have a function called go or take me home, and so the function responsible within the controller is take me home. So the router would tell it go there and use that function. Within that function is basically where we can go ahead and do things like do checks and things like that, or go ahead and use the model, which, as you can see here, a user.php is the model. So within here is where all the business logic goes and relations with other models go. Basically, let's say a user can have many posts and relationship with that nature, or a user can post many things, a post can have many replies and things like that. The relationships of that nature go within the model, and business rules goes within the model. So within the controller here, we can go ahead and grab data and use the model to determine those relationships and other things like that. And within the controller, let's say we want to go ahead and grab all the users, or let's say we want to go ahead and grab all the posts available on our website. So within our go home function that we said we have in here, we're going to go ahead and query, and we're going to grab all the users, and of course that's going to take into consideration all the rules and all the relationships we have in here and apply those before it gives us the result set. Once we get the result set, what we can do is within that function, just like we did here, we can return the view. So within the controller, let's say take me home function, we're going to go ahead and return the results alongside the view. So we can say something like this. We'll get something like, and then let's say we're going to have results here, so we're going to return the results. And then what is the view responsible for? So then the view, simply, if you go under resources, views, we see here the welcome view, and what the view is responsible is basically just displaying out the information. So once we get all the results from there, the controller will pass it to the view, and then the view will just display it. And to show that, let's go ahead and just type changes to Code Hub, and you can see this being changed. So let me load this here and refresh it, and you will see Code Hub. So what happened is, since we're not really typing in code now, let's go over it one final time so you guys can understand it better. Request comes in for the home page. Within here, ignore this for now. There will be once it hits this, it will tell it which controller and which function within that controller is responsible for handling this request. So in this case, it will be the controller.php. Within here, we will have a function that we call take me home. Within there, we're going to grab all the users for our website in this example. So it's going to apply all the business logic, all the rules and relations that are defined within the user model here. It's going to take those into consideration. We're going to do the query. It's going to return the relevant results after he applies all those rules and all those relationships that we defined. Once he has that within that take me home function within the controller, is going to return the view, and alongside is going to pass it the results. Then within the view itself, what we could do is here, we can define a way, or we can display those results that we got back in any way that we would like. In this case, here is just some, this is a static page, so we just have some text and HTML. So that's MVC pretty much, guys. I hope you guys liked this tutorial and you understood how MVC stood. If you have any questions or you didn't understand something in particular, please feel free to leave a comment or send me a message, and I will be more than glad to to answer it in more detail for you guys. Thank you for watching. Stick around for tutorial number 3, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Thank you again, guys.